Hey, I'm Justin at Cedar Rock Archery. Tonight we're here at the Cedar Rock Archery Pro Shop and we're going to show you how to tie the proper D loop. To tie a D loop, you're going to need a cigarette lighter, a 6-inch piece of D loop material, a pair of scissors, and I tie soft knocks on my D loop, and I'll go over that too. But I use 80-pound Dacron by Magic Braid. You can get that at a fishing store, Bass Pro Shops. And also, when tying a D loop, you need to know which arrow you shoot. And I recommend tying the D loop with the arrow on the string, because when you tie a soft knock, you want to get your knock spacing correct on either side of your arrow knock, to where when your bow's at full draw, you don't have any knock pinch. Now I got on my coal miner's hat here, the GoPro, and I'm going to use this where you can actually see what I'm seeing, and it may help you get your knots tied the correct way. The way I start with my center shot is I put my arrow on my string, and I look at my shaft over my burger hole, which is the hole here that your wrist is screwed into. That's the center shot on the bow. And so in this case, I want my arrow shaft completely covering that hole, or directly in the center of it, which in this case it is. If your arrow is high, you need to move your wrist down, vice versa. But now I've got my arrow where I want it on my string, so I'm going to put it in the bow press, or at home, you know, sit on the couch, get your wife to hold it, youngins to hold it, hunting somewhere, get your buddies to hold it. Or if you have a bow vise, that works too. Soft knocks your insurance policy. I use 80-pound Dacron's fishing line. Basically what this does is this gives you a secure knot on the top and bottom side of your arrow knot, to where if your D loop ever does come untied or ever breaks, you don't have to worry about getting your center shot right or your knocking point right. And this does not move up and down the string, whereas if you had a D loop without it, you'd constantly be walking up and down the string. What you want to do is burn the end here and get a small bulb there on it. And I always start on the bottom side. You want to lay your Dacron on your bowstring, go over towards the arrow shaft like this here, back over your original main line, back over the bowstring, and back into the hole there, and pull it tight, and it should look something like this here. Slide that to your arrow and cinch it down tight to your knot pulls tight there, to your bowl pulls tight there on your knot. And what you need to remember on this Dacron is you need to cinch it tight to where it kind of pulls down into the serving, but don't pull it too tight. You'll break it and you'll have to start back over. You want to cut that. I usually leave about 1/4 inch. Then you want to put the same soft knock on the top side of your knock. And to tie the top, you tie it the same as you do the bottom. You go over your bowstring to the inside towards the arrow shaft, over the main piece of the Dacron, behind the bowstring, and through the hole, and pull him tight. Slide him down to your knock. And what I like to do is I like to leave a gap between the arrow knock and this soft knock about the width of this actual Dacron string. Pull that tight, cinch him down, don't break it. Cut it off 1/4 inch there. Now you can take your shaft off. You won't need that anymore until you start tuning your bow. Now take and burn these soft knocks. And just mash the flame out with your thumb there. And your soft knock should look something like this here. And those will not move. Now for tying the actual D loop. To tie your D loop, I always start on the bottom side, and I always alternate my knots. The bottom side, I will go over my main bowstring to the inside toward my soft knock, back over my D loop, behind my bowstring and through the hole. Now I'll pull that snug, pull it to the top, and burn the end. And this is the most important part of a D loop. This little bulb here. That's what keeps it from sliding through and busting you in the face. Slide that down 1/4 of an inch from the knot. Pull it tight. As you can see, this knot is on the back side. Well, my actual main D loop runs to the back side of my bowstring. So my top knot, I'm going to want my main line on the front side of my bowstring. What this does is alternate your knots, which keeps your D loop more so to the center and keeps your D loop from walking around your string. So now I'm going to want to put my string on the outside of this soft knot, go over the string to the inside of the D loop, just like this here. Go to the back side of the bowstring and come through the hole. And your knot should look something like this here. And you want to move it to your soft knot. And me, I like a small D loop, so I'm going to slide it down, pull it tight, and you should look something about like this here. Now you're going to cut, leaving about 1/2 of an inch here, 1/2 to 1/4. Push your D loop down where you don't burn it, and burn this end down. Remember to get a good bulb on there. You don't want it to catch on fire too much, because what that does is causes that plastic fiber and that D loop material to crystallize. And when it crystallizes, it gets brittle and tends to break, and that could result in your knot breaking and your D loop pulling through and busting you in the face. Mash it down with your lighter there, and your other side should look something like this here. And now I take my release and tighten my D loop. Don't draw your bow back. You don't have to draw your bow back to do this, because you don't have an error in it. And the reason I'm doing this without an error is because I can't get my release on the D loop with the air knocked in there. There's not enough room. So I'll pull it back just a little bit, put a little tension on it, pump it 2 or 3 times, and there's your D loop. If you have any questions, you can contact us by going to our website, cedarrockarchery.com. Check out our blog, go to our contact page, and that's the thing about us guys. One of us will be on staff, one of us will be by the phone. We'll answer any of your questions. Tune back in next week for another how-to video from cedarrockarchery.com.